to G9IJA TV News Headlines with your host, Dr. Chan. Subscribe to G9IJA TV News Headlines. Thank you. Welcome to the explosive and entertaining channel on your screen, the G9IJA TV News Headlines this morning. I'm your regular host, Dr. Champion. Happy Father's Day. Yes, it's our Father's Day edition of this wonderful program. And for those who are watching me, I have a customized t-shirt here for fathers, and I hope it's a tribute to our fathers. Happy Father's Day. And of course, I hope it's clear enough. Yeah, for Happy Father's Day to the best dad. And so we're talking about your father. We're talking about our fathers. We're talking about why is it that men are hardly being celebrated. Of course, you know that for women, we have Women's Day, Mother's Day. I think Mother's Day twice, Women's Day twice, and a whole lot of celebrations for women. But for men, this is one day that we have decided to appreciate our men. First of all, we'll talk about the origin. What's the origin of Father's Day? The first modern Father's Day celebration took place on the 18th of June, 1910 in Spokane, Washington, D.C. Initiated by Sonora Smart Doe, a young American woman wishing to honor her father, a Civil War veteran and widower who had single-handedly raised 5 children alone himself. And so she decided to push towards the celebration of her father. And after then, it became a norm. So Father's Day was founded in Spokane, Washington at the YMCA in 1910 by Sonora Smart Doe, who was born in Arkansas. Okay, so what other thing do we need to know about Father's Day? When was he adopted? When was Father's Day adopted? It was adopted in 1972. Some history about that day. First, like we said, the celebration was in the United States in 1909 in Spokane, Washington. The day was started by Sonora Liu Smart Doe in honor of her father, a widower who had raised 5 or 6 children. It officially became a national holiday in 1972 when it was signed into law by President Richard Nixon. Okay, then some people used to ask, what about in Africa? In Africa, Father's Day is celebrated on the 3rd Sunday of June. Like most countries. However, an important tradition families have is to spend the day going out on picnics. So usually, especially in this side of the divide, people want to celebrate Father's Day by going out on picnics, as well as fishing as a way to bond and catch food for dinner. South African children also give gifts such as cards and flowers to their fathers, especially on 3rd Sunday of June every year. So my question to you this morning is, what gifts did you give to your father? How did you celebrate your father? You can leave your comments in our comment section. Please always display on your screen. I also want to use the opportunity to say kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, share, comment, like. We thank you for doing that. Okay, so who inspired Father's Day? Like we said before, Sonora Smart Doe in Spokane. She wanted to honor her father. Her father's name was William Jackson Smart, a Civil War veteran who single-handedly raised her and her siblings after their mother passed away. Inspired by herself, she sought to celebrate her fathers too when she got to know about Mother's Day. That wonderful woman, in the person of Sonora Smart Doe, decided to honor her father and decided to push the fact, or to drive home the fact that even though Mother's Day is being celebrated, we should also set aside a day to celebrate our father. Okay, so that's basically the fact you should know about that. All right, then she's said to have the idea in 1909 while listening to a sermon on Mother's Day, which was emerging as a holiday. Okay, so people ask, why do we celebrate Father's Day? Father's Day is a tradition with multiple origins, combining religious history and business strategy, reflecting changing family customs and models. For this special day, why not offer a symbolic gift or something special, or simply spend some quality time with your father, celebrating this importance of family ties. Okay, so as we wrap up that particular information, what are the 3 facts about Father's Day? The 3 major facts about Father's Day. 1, according to United States Census Bureau, the necktie is the most popular of all Father's Day gifts. The necktie is symbolically the most popular of all Father's Day gifts. Fact number 1. Fact number 2, the origin of the word dad may simply be baby talk. The forms dada means father in bracket, in parentheses. Okay, and finally, fact number 3, there are 1.5 billion fathers worldwide. There are 1.5 billion fathers worldwide. Therefore, what is the message for Father's Day? You could say to your dad on this special day, I want to thank you for being my hero, my mentor, and my best friend. Happy Father's Day. Whatever message you have for your father should be communicated to him so that he can know that he's being appreciated. And then, as we call it a wrap on Father's Day, facts and tips, it's important to know that once every year, third Sunday in the month of June, every year, Father's Day is being celebrated. And you as an individual should not allow that day pass you by without saying something special to your father. Tell him you love him, thank him for his sacrifices, and don't just wait for third Sunday of June every year. Make it a lifestyle to appreciate fathers. Okay, and away from there, we'll move over to top stories hitting the news. And we're kicking off with the Punch newspapers. All right, it says Salah celebration. Tinubu, Buhari, Sultan Khan offer solutions to hardship. Offer solutions to hardship. In details, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and former President Buhari, the Sultan of Sokoto Said Abubakar, and the President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Khan, Archbishop Daniel Oko, on Sunday profiled solutions to economic challenges confronting the country. Against the backdrop of ALD, which was celebrated amid the high food inflation, Tinubu called on Nigerians to show more care for their neighbors and extend the charity to all in the spirit of LD Kabir. The president, who observed his LD prayer in Lagos, emphasized that some degree of sacrifice will be necessary to advance the nation. In a statement released on Sunday by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Nengali, the former Lagos State governor reminded Nigerians that citizenship comes with responsibility. The statement read in part, we have been told by the chief imam how we can follow the path of sacrifice. The sacrifice required of a good citizen. Citizenship comes with responsibilities. As citizens, what we need to do is to be committed to our society. Okay, details of that can be seen from the Punch newspaper. And still on the Punch newspaper, yet another interesting headline, which is not very good. Highly contagious cholera strain spreads in Lagos. Abayomi warns. Please let's take note of that. Highly contagious cholera strain spreads in Lagos. Abayomi warns. Lagos State Health Commissioner Professor Akin Abayomi said laboratory tests carried out on samples have confirmed that the disease outbreak in the state is due to cholera, and the identified strain is highly aggressive and contagious, with potential for widespread dissemination. Abayomi made this known on his Instagram handle at Prof. Akin Abayomi on Monday while giving an update on cholera outbreak in the state. Cholera is a food and waterborne disease caused by ingesting the bacteria Vibrio cholerae in contaminated water and food. Cholera can cause severe acute watery diarrhea, and the severe forms of disease can kill within hours if left untreated. In Nigeria, cholera is an endemic and seasonal disease, occurring annually mostly during the rainy season and more frequently in areas with poor sanitation. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention warned the public of the increasing trend of cholera cases as the rainy season intensifies. The center noted that the 10 states contributing 90% to the burden of the current cholera outbreak include Bayelsa, Zamfara, Abia, Cross River, Bauchi, Delta, Katsina, Imo, Nasarawa, and Lagos states, respectively. There were 473,000 cholera cases reported to World Health Organization in 2022, double the number from 2021. A further increase of 700,000 cases was estimated in 2023. The latest data from the World Health Organization showed that a cumulative total of 145,900 cholera cases and 1,766 deaths were reported from 24 countries across 5 WHO regions, with Africa recording the highest numbers, followed by the Eastern Mediterranean region, the region of the Americas, the Southeast Asia region, and the European region. The commissioner noted that through community-based care finding and contact tracing, number of persons has peaked and is now declining. The geographical distribution of suspected cases by local government area showed that Lagos Island is the epicenter of the outbreak with 106 cases, followed by Koshofe, local government 49 cases, Etiosa 38, Lagos mainland 30, Ojo 17, Ikorodu 16, Koshofe 16, Shomolu 11. Others are Surulere 9, Apata 8, Mushin 8, Ifakoijaye 8, Mushin 5, Alimosho 4, Ajeromi Ifoledun 4, Oshodi Isolo 3, Ikeja 3, Ibejuleki 2, Badagry 2, Amuodofin 1. He, however, disclosed that 17 confirmed cases out of 350 suspected cases and 15 people have died so far. What a tragedy. Abayomi said 350 suspected cases of cholera were reported in 29 wards across multiple local government areas in Lagos State, with 17 confirmed cases and 15 fatalities attributed to severe dehydration caused by delayed presentation. While receiving support from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and international partners, including the World Health Organization and United Nations Children's Fund, local non-government organizations are actively raising awareness and conducting community-based surveillance efforts. He also said that the state is intensifying its public health campaign in light of the Salah celebrations and the associated transmission risks from gatherings and catering services to prevent a resurgence. Suspected cases are receiving free treatment at our public health facilities in line with public health response protocols, he added. Details of that can be seen in the Punch newspaper. Please grab yourself a copy. And it's important for us to maintain proper hygiene even as we fight cholera together. And away from the cholera story, we have something from the Vanguard newspaper on minimum wage. Labour Tripartite Committee Chair trade words over minimum wage. Chairman of the Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage, G9IJA, has asked Labour to reconsider the amount it demanded as minimum wage, citing the prevailing economic situation in the country. He listed such incentives as the 35,000 naira wage award for all Treasury-paid federal workers, 100 billion naira for procurement of gas-fueled buses and conversion to gas kits, the 125 billion naira conditional grant, financial inclusion to small and medium-scale enterprises, and the 25,000 naira each to be shared to 15 million households for 3 months as reasons Labour should accept the 62,000 naira offered by the government against its demand of 250,000 naira. While Labour, in a swift reaction, accused the Tripartite Committee chairman of lacking knowledge of the hardship and suffering workers and other Nigerians were going through. Recall that Organized Labour is a member of the Tripartite Committee of a new minimum wage. Labour's reaction came as Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Pagudu, said lean resources were responsible for governor's rejection of 62,000 naira minimum wage. This is even as the Anglican Communion yesterday asked the federal and state government to pay workers a living wage, charging them to maintain fiscal prudence and accountability. However, the Tripartite Committee chairman also cited the 185 billion palliative loans to states to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal and 200 billion naira to support the cultivation of hectares of land to boost food production. He said that there is another 75 billion naira to strengthen the manufacturing sector and 1 trillion naira for student loans for higher education. He cited the release of 42,000 metric tons of grains from strategic reserves and purchase and onward distribution of 60,000 metric tons of rice to the Millers Association. Goni urged Labour to consider the recent salary increase of 25% and 35% on all consolidated salary structures for federal workers and the 90% subsidy on health costs for federal civil servants registered on the health insurance program and accept the 62,000 naira being offered by the federal government. He said the Light Rail Commission in Abuja is to relieve transportation costs until the end of the year, describing it as a landmark achievement that will cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy. He said in addition to the freedom of civil servants to engage in agriculture, the federal government has approved the inclusion of ICT services for alternate sources of income. He said the committee agreed that where major and small businesses were closing down with the consequent loss of jobs, the outcome of a new minimum wage should be such that it would not trigger further massive job losses. He further said that linking the strike to electricity tariff hike with the wage determination was not fair to the negotiation parties. We are ignorant of hardship in Nigeria, Labour tells committee chairman. And away from that, from the Vanguard newspaper, we move to the Naira matrix with an interesting financial headline. Nigeria was spending $1.5 billion monthly to defend the Naira before Tinubu's foreign exchange reform presidency. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, has said that Nigeria was spending a whopping sum of $1.5 billion monthly to peg foreign exchange before Tinubu's unification policy in June 2023. Onanuga made this disclosure in a statement on Sunday in response to a report published in the New York Times criticizing the Nigerian economy as facing the worst trajectory in a generation. According to Onanuga, Tinubu is not responsible for the economic challenges currently bedeviling the nation, adding that the country's public finance was broken before the emergence of the president. Onanuga said keeping such a low rate of foreign exchange led to an unprecedented increase in arbitrage prices, with over 5,000 BDC operators abusing the pegged rate. Like oil, the exchange rate was also being subsidized by the government, with an estimated $1.5 billion spent monthly by the CBN to defend the currency against the unquenchable demand for the dollar by the country's import-independent economy. By keeping the rate low, arbitrage grew as a gulf existed between the official rate and the rate being used by over 5,000 BDCs that were previously licensed by the central bank. What was more, the country was failing to fulfill its remittance obligation to airlines and other foreign businesses such as FDIs, and investments in the oil sector dried up, and notably Emirates Airlines cut off the Nigerian route, Onanuga said. Speaking further, Tinubu's aide said after months of foreign exchange storm, stability has now been restored to the FX market. According to him, the fact that the rate now trades between 1,500 per dollar is an indication that the FX market is no longer stable. He also mentioned that there are various projections that the exchange rate may regain its value back to 1,200 per dollar or 1,000 naira per dollar before the end of the year. President Tinubu had to deal with the cancer of public finance on the first day by rolling back the subsidy regime and the generosity that spread to neighboring countries. Then his administration floated the naira. After some months of the storm, with the naira sliding as low as 1,900 to the US dollar, some stability is being restored, though there remain some challenges. The exchange rate is now below 1,500 to the dollar, and there are prospects that the naira could regain its muscle and appreciate to between 1,000 naira and 1,200 naira before the end of the year, Onanuga added. The naira has continued to maintain its value since May, posting some gains against the greenback as it now trades slightly below 1,500 per dollar. Price action shows that naira bulls have been able to keep the naira within the 1,500 per dollar borderline as an uptick in the CBN's FX reserves moderated concerns in the country's FX market. The local currency gained 0.02% from 1,481 naira 32 kobo per dollar last week to 1,481.03 naira per dollar, the official rate, while the BDC rate chose 0.14% from 1,477 naira per dollar to 1,475 naira per dollar. And last but not the least, before we wrap up today's Naira News headline, we pick up something very, very interesting that caught our fancy. still on the Nigerian food inflation issue, as Nigerians lament high prices of ram amidst cost of high living, especially the inflation. Now, the Premium Times report that Salah, Nigerian Muslims lament high ram prices amidst cost of living crisis. You can get that story more on the Premium Times Nigeria. Some claim that purchase of ram has risen to as much as 250,000 to 300,000 naira, as it were, or even more. But beyond that, generally there have been a complaint about the hike in food prices, and that the common man, the average man, is finding it difficult to afford to buy food. We are sure that the government is looking into that, and sooner or later that problem will be solved. And that's the much we have for you today from the tables of the G9IJA TV News headlines. I'm your host, Dr. Champion, and one more time, it's Happy Father's Day. Please make sure you celebrate your father, make him smile, and make him pray for you, and make him bless you. So we'll come your way same time, same channel. Please stay safe and keep celebrating. And of course, it's also Happy Salah celebration to all our Muslim friends and family members. Bye for now. Subscribe to G9IJA TV News headlines.